right. Do you see the
A
aligned
black
success?
screen.
Oh, it's black?
Yeah, it says, oh yeah, now I see it.
Okay, it has the aligned success philosophy.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so now we're officially recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another month of Social Circle. This month, we are exploring really stepping out of our comfort zone, what that means, being visible for ourselves, for our businesses. I was really inspired by last month's call with Mari, and you could literally, at least I could feel her passion. I could feel her intention, and that this woman is doing exactly what she was put on this earth to do. And she so clearly, elegantly just explains her offerings and what she's here to bring and to do and how she can serve people. And I feel like as energy workers, as human design readers, in this space, like that tends to be one of the things a lot of us find challenging. And we're all there. No one's a master at it yet, I don't believe. So we get to acknowledge that and go back to our human design, because so much of that information is there that can help us, that can support us, that can even just remind us of our gifts, our wisdom, and how we truly are meant to show up in the world. And so I put together what I'm calling the aligned success philosophy. And to start, I really wanted to just touch upon the most basic element, which is our type. And I love that Carolina's here, a fellow manifester. We have so many projectors, so many NGs in the group. But this is really just to go back to the basics, right? What is our type? Our type gives us so much information as to our energy levels. We were just discussing being in the rest cycle as a manifester and knowing, understanding what that means and being at peace with it, right? Versus getting angry. But it's so important just to go back to the basics sometimes. And so we're going to start there. So if you are watching the replay, I invite you to, send in your questions, pop them in on Telegram. Let me know what your thoughts are, what's come up for you during this presentation. And we're definitely going to do, oops, what happened to my screen? We're definitely going to do more of this as well. So let me skip back to my screen. All right. All right. Hold on, everyone, one moment. Technical difficulties. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, share. Okay, here we go. All right, it's gonna pop up in a second for you guys. Yes, thumbs up. We're good. Perfect. Okay. All right. So, what is authentic success? Like, how do we define that? So, for me, it comes down to each individual is rooted and aligned with one's true self. It involves living in prosperity across all areas of life, recognizing and expressing unique gifts, talents, and superpowers, often guided by the human design principles that we come to know and understand. Authentic success means no longer wearing a mask and fully backing and loving yourself. It requires taking responsibility for your energy and actions, empowering yourself, and leaning into your wisdom, your superpowers, and fear instead of giving away your power. So I've broken it down into 3 pillars: responsibility, which is knowing and understanding you are truly responsible for your own frequency, which is energy, and where you put your focus, how you run your business, your life, and how you are working through your conditioning. Conditioning is not going to go away, and it's not bad, it's not good, it's neutral. And it's our responsibility to understand that conditioning is there to be I almost want to say like a trigger, right? Or a reminder for us that there's an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to do something different, an opportunity to show up differently, right? Then there's frequency, which is energy. And that's all about managing your energy as manifestors. How are we managing our energy when we know we have this urge? We're taking full advantage of it. We're running like the gates on fire. We got to get out of here. And then we burn out, right? So how can we take that time when we do have that energy and manage it so that we get the most out of it, right? Until it's time for us to rest. As projectors, how can you take that time where you have to have your head to the ground and work, work, work before you can get back to what you love that now fills your cup back up, right? Same with generators, same with reflectors. So it's understanding that based on your type, what drives you, what revitalizes you, and what depletes you. And this starts with addressing unconscious beliefs, patterns, and the fears. Once we do that, we're then able to raise our frequency, raise our energy levels. And the final pillar is self-empowerment. And that's believing in yourself, trusting your design, taking responsibility for the patterns in your life. Because one thing I know for sure, and I had this just drilled into me over and over and over again, whatever is happening on the inside, or actually whatever is happening on the outside is a reflection of what's happening on the inside. So if my world feels chaotic and just a mess, I get to check myself. Where am I? How am I feeling? Because that's just a representation. And believing yourself goes without saying. I mean, we're dealing with imposter syndrome, with comparisonitis, right? All the different terms we have for it. But especially when you're doing this type of work, it's because you have a special connection to it, right? If you are a human design reader, if you're sharing human design, it's because something personally affected you when you learned about human design. It changed your life, it changed some part of you. And now that is the driving force as to why you want to share it with others, why you know this is a valuable tool to have in your toolbox. It can literally make a difference. So empowering yourself, trusting yourself, sharing your story, and knowing that that is enough. You are the walking testimony for this work, right? And you just get to share it over and over and over again. So let's talk about responsibility. So running your own business requires way more than just showing up to a job. From the get-go, I can tell you, when I thought about having my own business, I was like, okay, I'm going to work 3 days a week. I'm going to work, 4 hours in those 3 days. I had it all laid out. I didn't quite realize that you have to work up to that. So there's so much more involved when you're running your own business at any level, whether you're at a startup, you are just a thought, it's a startup, you're a few years in, wherever you are, like until you get to a certain point, and probably forever, there's going to be a certain level of responsibility that is more than just what you would do if you just had a job and you clocked in and you clocked out and you left it there, right? This becomes a part of your world. And it's up to you how ingrained you want to be in it. But every day is an opportunity for you to share what your work is and how it can impact people. Be proud of that. It's understanding that everything is made up. Now, this was big for me when I figured this out, when I had a mentor of mine literally say, it's all made up, right? We go in, we take courses for human design, we get our certificate, we learn what it is. But from that point on, we start attaching our interpretation, right? We are sharing our voice. That's why people come to you versus the next person, because they like the way you explain it. They like the way you present it. And so even this presentation right now, right? This is my interpretation of what I'm using to be more visible out in the world, to share my message. And so there's theory, but it's also what I've made up and put together and has worked for me. I love this quote. Every successful person became successful because they backed the thing they were selling. And so if you truly believe in human design and numerology, astrology, gene keys, Reiki, tarot, whatever it is, whatever you've lined yourself with, if you truly believe in it and know the power that it holds, the medicine that it holds, and it can help people, then you back it. You back it no matter what. And that's what you're selling. This is your interpretation. So believe in yourself and what your message is. And the last part is mastering uncertainty, leaning into your line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of them. Being good with knowing that everything is a test and your results are 1, how you feel, 2, how many people you've impacted, and 3, how much money you made. And let's not forget number 3, because there is no shame in putting a dollar amount to your services, right? There is nothing wrong with that. You should be paid, and you should be paid graciously for what you're doing, what you're offering, for the potential impact you can make in someone's life. And the more money that you make, the more you're able to do with, the more people you're able to impact and influence, the bigger your message can be. And I really want all of us to fully understand that and live that, and know that that is, I don't want to say the goal, but let that be the goal as far as money as a means to supporting you getting out there and your message. Managing your energy. To me, this is truly aligning to what is authentic, right? Because if you have good, safe boundaries, if you're respecting your time, your energy, your space, other people will too. And those that do not will be turned away, right? They will go somewhere else. But you showing up in your business, in your work, day to day requires a certain level of energy, and it requires consistency, right? Even beautiful, inconsistent consistency, I call it. But you can only get there if you are putting yourself first, if you're taking care of yourself, if you're resting, sleeping, eating properly, hydrating, right? Doing the things that you need to fill back up so that you can then show up and be out into the world. To thrive, it's crucial. It really is crucial to manage your energy in alignment with your unique human design type. So this comes back to understanding what depletes you and revitalizes you so that you can operate at your best. So let's take a look at different human design types. So for the manifestors in the room, we know that our power comes from following our creative urges. And when inspiration strikes, it's acting freely and decisively, right? Because when we sit there in indecisive mode, we're wasting time, we're wasting energy. So moving freely but decisively. And it's equally important to rest when that creative energy isn't flowing. So Netflix, going to the beach, that'll be me later, right? Doing whatever you need to do to relax and to recuperate, right? So that we're getting ready for that next stint. What depletes us is suppressing our power and trying to fit into rigid structures that don't fit, that don't work for us, right? Generators and Mani-Gens. You thrive when doing things that genuinely excite you and light you up. If you're spending time on tasks that feel like obligations, or you're living in the shoulds, that's going to drain your energy. So focusing on activities that align with your passion and fuel you, right? Fill up your cup, give you that sense of being alive and excitement and mystery, the unknown, and just getting out there and into it, responding to life. That is what fills you back up. Projectors. Your energy is best managed when you're working in short bursts, but then dedicating the bulk of your time to learning and immersing yourself in things that you love, right? Things that, yes, you've been invited to, It's important, but things where you can really show like who you are and your gifts, your wisdom that you're bringing. That's filling you back up. Too much focus on traditional work, routines, structures. I call it like living in a box can deplete you. So instead, focus on what really fascinates you and try spending the bulk of your time there and just being very laser when you have to be on the other side with the work, the structure part. And for reflectors, it's your environment, it's the people that you surround yourself with. This is the biggest impact on your energy. So, paying close attention to the spaces that you spend time in, the relationships that you pour into, make sure they all feel good for you, right? And when they don't, but not feeling like you have to be there in order to avoid confrontation. You have to do this in order to avoid conflict, right? It's about trusting yourself and knowing that this feels good. This is filling me up. This is aligned to my spirit. This is where I belong. This is not. And at the end of the day, all of this is boundaries, right? We should all be very familiar with boundaries at this point. So I would love to, Carolyn, if you want to jump in actually, or just, journal, just think about this. But what in your business depletes your energy? And what in your business gives you energy? Right? I think these are two great questions to think about from just the startup stage to, maybe you're already at that 5K, 6K, 7K in your business, but things just aren't feeling as good. Go back and check in with yourself. What in your business is depleting your energy? Can you do something different? Can you delegate? Can you share that information and open it up for more support, right? Is there someone you can confide in who you trust, who you look up to, you respect, who might be able to give you a different perspective? Sometimes that's all it needs, right? And then what in your business gives you energy? One of the things that very early on when I started my entrepreneurial journey was I had a mentor that said, no matter what, no matter how long your to-do list is, the top of that list needs to be income producing activity. And at the time, she's a very, very much a generator. It's all about what's making the money, right? And so define that however it feels good for you, but know that the things that are moving your business forward, the things that are opening up doors, that are letting people know that you exist, that you're open for business, that are bringing in leads, those are income producing activities. Whether it produces $1 today or 10 tomorrow, it's an income producing activity. So whether you love doing those things or you hate them and they actually deplete you, get those things done as quickly, decisively, as laser focused as possible, right? Which then opens up more time, more space for the other things. If you love doing those things, maybe income producing activity for you is social media, right? Maybe it's creating a podcast and recording episodes. Maybe it's recording episodes for your YouTube channel. Maybe you love doing those things, right? That's even better. But if it's actually something that you dread, like for a long time, my biggest income producing activity was LinkedIn, and I despised LinkedIn. Oh, if I could get rid of LinkedIn or delegate that, I would have from the get-go. But I also knew that there was a lot of opportunity there. So I made sure that my space felt good, my surroundings felt good. I had my coffee, I had a candle burning, right? Whatever I needed to make me feel good so that I could sit there and do the LinkedIn portion of my day to help that go smoother, right? Set yourself up for success. Set yourself up so that even those things that might be draining, you're still doing something on the back end that feels really good. And just as a side note, I would love to recommend Atomic Habits. If anyone has read it, share in the comments, share in Telegram about it. If you haven't, that is a very, very powerful book. And it's all about creating better habits. And we're actually going to get to that in the next slide as well. But creating better habits, and it doesn't have to be super structured either. As a manifester, I don't like structure. I like freedom, right? I want to do what I want to do. Don't tell me. And I can appreciate that if I have better, healthier habits, then I do experience more peace in my life, right? I get left alone more, which I like. I can appreciate that. So it's self-empowerment. You know it feels good to you, for you, within you. Your outside world is a reflection of your inside world. And nothing says that to me more than when we start talking about our signature and our not self theme, right? These two things are based on feelings, right? Feeling peace, feeling anger, feeling frustration, feeling bitterness, feeling surprise, feeling disappointment, right? These are feelings. These are, I want to say, tangible things that we can immediately notice, we can feel and know that we're out of alignment. And I would say the most challenging part in the early days, especially running your own business, is going to be really understanding, okay, what is it? Am I just uncomfortable because it's out of my box, because it's new? Or am I out of alignment and I'm feeling frustrated, anger, disappointment? So really getting clear on what is it I'm feeling? Because the goal is to feel more of your signature than your not self. But know that your not self is an indicator of when you're out of alignment. So the signature versus the not self. Success is achieved when you're in alignment with your energy type and following your strategy, with each type having a signature feeling when aligned and a not self theme when out of alignment. Human design holds so many keys for us to help us know that we should do more of this or less of that. And our types reveal the unique container of our purpose, right? Including our strategy, our signature, and how our aura operates. So with each type, manifestor, generator, manager, projector, reflector, each of those has different needs in order to feel aligned, to fill in their signature, and then different strategies for actions. So manifestors, we seek peace, but experience anger when we're not in alignment. Generators and manifesting generators thrive on satisfaction, but feel frustration when misaligned. And projectors feel success when aligned, but bitterness when they're not. And reflectors experience success in alignment and disappointment when they're out of sync or in the wrong environments and the wrong relationships. Now, there we go. This was just a fascinating point that I really wanted to include in it. It's the mindset aspect of all of this. Because going back to habits, going back to conditioning, your behavior is 95% unconscious. That number that made me take a huge step back. 95% unconscious. And at best, an expert actually said this, at best, the most highly conscious individual, right? Let's just take us, for example, right? The fact that we are here, that we understand human design, that we have been in the personal development space for a number of years, that we are doing the work, that we even know the work is out there to do. We're in that upper category, right? We're already considered highly conscious individuals. At best, we're looking at 85% unconsciousness. That still leaves a huge gap that we are almost in control of, not in control of. So we want to make sure, we have to make sure that our unconscious habits are serving us, not stopping us. Because the primary goal of our mind, of our brain, is to keep us safe, but not thrive. And awareness is 70% of the journey, right? We're already in the awareness area because we're here, right? We were introduced to human design, and we've actually done as much as we have already in human design because something made sense to us. We were open to this idea. We were wanting something more. We were looking for answers. So 70% of it is just awareness. So let's make sure that the habits that are unconscious that we're doing on a daily basis are really supporting us. And the things that become habits are the things that we do continuously, right? We all know the term where you're doing something on autopilot. You're not even having to think about it anymore. So let's make sure that those things we're doing on autopilot really are supporting us. True success is about reconditioning our mind and our habits. So the goal is to consciously shift the unconscious patterns that no longer serve us so that we can recondition ourselves for abundance and thriving. So I can't help but go back to Atomic Habits because there were so many good points in there. And it's, a habit, I don't even know what the going number is now. It's been like 21 days to create a new habit, 60 days to create a new habit. I mean, depending on who you listen to, it's a whole different number, right? However long it takes, the point is that it takes consistency. It takes you doing that thing over and over again for it to become a habit. So the awareness part is just us deciding, okay, meditation is going to be a habit, right? Speaking to myself in a certain way, being conscious of the words that I use are going to become a habit. And making those changes every single day, doing those things every single day until it becomes effortless, right? Or something that you have to put less thought into. It's just a part of who you are. It's a part of your day. We also do this by giving our brain evidence, right? Once there's our brain and our body, and it takes our brain a lot longer to catch up than our body does. So once our brain gets like, oh, I did XYZ, and this happened, and it was actually good, it makes the connection. And so, okay, well, if I do it again and it works, it worked. Oh my God. So now it's like we start moving toward those things that we have evidence, right? And the evidence supports our brain and knowing that, oh, we're safe. We did it and we're still safe. Let's do it again. Okay, we're still safe. And without it realizing it, we're now thriving. We're now heading toward abundance because these are things that support us and not only keeping us safe, but moving us toward our bigger goals, our bigger mission. So I put together some mantras for us, affirmations, and you're welcome to take a screenshot if you like. I'll also put them into Telegram later as well. But I am a affirmation girl. I love affirmations. I do daily scripting. Anything I feel that can support my journey, my path, I'm going to at least try it and see what happens and then incorporate it from that point on. If I start to see the results and I start to see that it's really helping. And these were some mantras that I put together for the different lines, okay? Because every line has its own challenge, and we get to work through that. So for myself, being in line 4, I know that the more quality relationships I build, the more I can influence, right? So I'm going to remind myself of that when I'm heading into those sometimes jarring networking events, when I'm having to create something and give a talk and my nerves are getting the best of me. I'm going to remember that quality relationships lead me to where I actually want to be, right? So you can do for both your lines, you can pick whichever one, or even with the transits, this also really works on the daily transit. So maybe I don't know actually what day is, what number we're on, but you know, if we're on a line 3 day and you're kind of feeling that energy, have this be your mantra, you know? I love also doing mantras, affirmations at the start of my day as a way of setting myself up. Right? I'm already setting my day up of how it's going to go in my business, in my day, in my relationships, and whatever's going on. I'm already forecasting the abundance that I'm bringing in. And I find that when I do that, everything seems to work a little more easily, right? I'm in the flow because I'm already expecting good things. I'm already expecting things to work out. I do this a lot when I have to get on the call with, today, for example, it was DMV, right, with my license. And it's like, okay, it's going to work out. I'm going to talk with really helpful people who are loving their job, who are present, who are going to help answer my questions. And we're all going to finish feeling complete and satisfied, right? That is the plan. And so I actually got a call right before this session from DMV. The person was very sweet. She was very helpful. And she swore to get back to me in a timely manner because she knew how frustrating the whole situation is. And so I hung up thinking like, oh, it worked. That's evidence. It worked. So again, I will put this in the Telegram group as well if you didn't get a chance to get the screenshot. But with all that being said, hi Veronica. I know your camera's off and you're on your
Hi,
you're
hi.
unmuted. Hi,
Hi,
how you
Brandy.
doing?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry for joining late, but actually I thought
No,
it was
you're
for
totally fine.
10 o'clock my time. So I
Oh
thought it
my
was 10
goodness.
p.m. And I realized now it was 9 p.m. So apologies.
No worries, my dear. This, if you want to go back and watch the full slideshow and everything, it'll be in the portal in a couple days.
Mm.
But basically, I wanted to just open up the floor now and just talk about or share, you know, if you have been struggling with promoting yourself and being visible and getting your message out there into the world. And if you haven't been struggling, what are you doing? Help us. Share with us what's working.
On a different
Okay.
occasions, there are different things.
That is true. Very
Yeah, and,
true.
and I'm a one free, so with sometimes like I experimented, for example, with Instagram, because like okay, first I went totally with the energy flow, etc. So like if I have the mood to post one reel a week, then I will do that. So yeah, it kind of worked, but the algorithms, etc. You have no idea how they work, etc. So I started like, okay, like what will happen if I will do it like a lot, like for example, twice a day, if I will do it in different hours, etc. So
Yeah.
I do have a social, I did have a social media agency like back in the days. So like I'm in it. So when I'm in the flow, I'm gonna make like a reel in 15 minutes or like a post in like 10 to 20 minutes. Or if somebody is interrupting me, then it will take a lot longer, but
Right.
that's something different. So yeah. So the thing that I'm struggling with business is interruptions. So yeah, but that's a different story. So I tend to experiment, and I am doing mostly 2 posts a day, and I have no idea still how do they work, because like one post I did get a mini viral because it made 250,000 of views, and it was on
That's
Facebook.
amazing.
It was on
Oh,
Facebook, but like if you're thinking that going viral is something like, oh yeah, now my business is going to like yeah, go bananas, it's not.
yeah.
And especially it was a real but what works, because it really was something mine. So it was not a trend, it was nothing, it was just a crazy stupid idea that I was in my garden, and I'm like, let's make this. And it was literally, I put it on something and recorded, and like no, it first was like, I'm going with my phone, and like I learned the trick and I will show it to you, okay? Wait patiently. And I put the phone and I run away. And then I put in the captions. It was like, that's me running away from people telling me what to do, my conditioning, blah, 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 all of those things. So this was something that just came up. It was not inspired from my open head. It was not a trend or something. It was just like a silly idea. I do not get those often. Mostly, usually, you know, I have to be inspired. So most things that I do is I see something and I will do it my way. So this is mostly things that I'm doing. So this was my perfectly imperfect idea that went totally viral. It did give me followers, but like all the rest posts after that, yeah, like 50 views, 60 views, 100 views, 20 again, 5 views.
Back down to normal, right?
Yeah. So and I'm not doing any ads, etc. So, but I am doing it because what I saw it does, um sometimes when I'm in my energy flow as a manifester, I will just produce more content on a time, and then like, oh, it's a nice hour, so I know when I usually post at this hour, it goes like better. So I do that because now it's changed. I know it will be more algorithmic, etc. But if it can help, then I will just say it. So yeah, going back, reverse. Yeah, so I am posting the Tuesday on a day because reels now they live longer. So it's now it's not that oh, okay, if it didn't go viral in the 24 hours, it's like gone. So the clients see you and like they see exactly what's, because it very resonated what you said, that like you're behind that HD story. Like you have to be a fool go on, like, because it's my experience is different. So by putting it out there, you will be attracting I am doing like business HD and HD for personal growth. So I'm attracting different types of people. But like, yeah, they see me, and then like sometimes I get comments like, I was attracted to you because like you said those specific things, or like you do it so special in this kind of way, etc. Like, and honestly, if you're like trying to be visible, etc., people will go to Instagram, they will go to Google, and they will see ton of posts, and they will see a ton of people, and they will be looking for somebody who's like resonating. So like never ever try to be somebody you're not, but just do you. Yeah. So I'm even posting if I'm tired, like even today, like when I'm in my not sexy rest cycle era, and I just posted a picture like, yeah, this is me in my rest cycle, like I look like I would be homeless or something. But then at the other day you'll see me as a rock star, etc. Like, but that it's so I'm putting it all down out there for people that like authenticity, that they will come to me. So yeah, sorry for the very, very long explanation.
No, that was perfect. I mean, I totally resonate with that as well. I feel like I spent so much time, honestly, in the past couple years with my social media, just being inundated and by watching so many people and then trying to copy. And that is so exhausting. You can't keep up. And I literally didn't know what my own voice was. Right? Because it's just like, oh, it's this person over here. Oh, you sound just like this person, or you look just like this, your stuff looks like this person. But what was mine? Right? And I wanted to create a business for myself that felt good, that nourished me, that allowed me to be me and still make money. And so I had to go back and figure out what that was, you know, and fall in love with it again. And that came back to sharing my journey through human design? How did it happen? You know, what did it feel like? What was going on at the time? And same way, people are like, I resonated with what you said. I resonated
Mhm.
with your story. I'm going through that same thing right now, and you popped up in my feed, right? Or your YouTube channel came up. That's what counts. That's what being authentic is in my book, right? It's truly being yourself and knowing that that's enough. And if today you're dressed like a hobo, no makeup on, and you're like, hey, this is me, take it or leave it, people will love that too and appreciate it. And it's okay. It's totally
Exactly.
okay. Yeah. I love that. Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you.
Veronica, do you want to share or have any questions?
I'm probably one of those who are not in the stage. Well, I think there is no one in the same stage as I am. So I'm not in the stage of promoting myself just yet.
Okay.
I'm still building the knowledge of the human design. I guess majority of people are doing human design certification program, so they elsewhere in their journey. And
Everyone is different.
yeah, and they're focusing on other stuff now. So, but what I know already is once the time comes that I will be promoting myself, I know it should be through the people in my circle because I'm 2-4. So
Mhm.
I realized all the success and all that I need comes through the people that I know. So if I just try to promote myself on social media, like looking for strangers to basically start liking me and following me, I think well, I actually experienced that before. It would just lead to disappointment because the feedback would just not be there in the way that I would need it or want it. So that's what I've learned already through human design, that I need to to look into those connections, and I know that the right people will spread the word. They will bring me their people. So I know I have to grow my network through the people. And that's one of the reasons why I actually came back home, because here I've got that network. So I lived in the UK for like 13 years, but I never built the network that I was really happy with, and the network that would give me all that I needed. So yeah, I think good things are coming, and of course
Absolutely.
with my work involved, people close to me will help me spread the word and help me um, bring my clients to me gradually.
Absolutely. And where is home?
In Slovakia.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Hi from Poland.
Oh, hello. We're
That's
not so far from each other then,
Exactly.
and same time zone as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So I am sleepy too.
Yeah, yeah.
I so appreciate both of you coming in on the
Yeah.
call. And you're a
But
reflector. Oh my gosh, I think you might be the only reflector in our group. Maybe there might be two.
Yeah, I haven't met the other one.
Yeah, when I joined 2 years ago, we had one.
Yeah.
So I think she's still around in the group. I have to double check. But yes, I mean, being a reflector on top of having the line 4, your community is everything, your environment is
Mm.
everything. And also I just want to, point out too, the line 2, your natural gifts and talents, you know? I mean, you are just like, I can already feel it. You're just this magnet that
Mhm.
people are just drawn to, and that line 2, however, wherever you are in your human design journey, if this is something that you ultimately want to
Mm.
share as a means of a business as well,
Yeah.
just trusting yourself, sharing your story. That's what people want.
Thank you. Like,
Absolutely. I'm happy you're here.
yeah, me too. I'm really sorry I missed the 9 o'clock because I'm used to deconditioning circles because I've attended those and they are 10 o'clock. So I thought it's the same, like 10 p.m. my time, but this one was 9 p.m.
Yeah, no worries. No
Yeah.
worries. I think maybe actually if not later this year, next quarter, beginning of next year, we might move it. So it's 1 p.m. my time, which would be, I believe, to 10 p.m. An hour later, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But that means an hour later, you gotta
Yeah,
stay up.
I mean it's better now. It's better for 9 o'clock because like 10 o'clock is quite late.
Late. Yeah. We'll
Yeah,
make it work. We'll make it work.
yeah,
That's non-energetics.
Exactly.
exactly. Oh. But I'm so
Oh,
glad I joined anyway, even though I've missed like a majority of it.
it's all good. It's all good, my dear. Like I said, it'll be in the portal for you guys if you want to watch the recording, and I'll make sure the slides are there too. And yeah, and I'll put the mantras and Telegram as well. So,
Thank you.
any other questions or anything else you want to share, Carolina, Veronica?
I think not maybe even a question, because sometimes I'm not the person who asks questions. I usually speak out, and then like when I'm starting to think about it and speak out, suddenly I'm like, yeah, I already know that, so I'm not asking the question. So so I'm not the like I'm really truly, so that's why human design was also a blessing, because when I finally realized that I am running on information, like I am giving information and I am coming in information, and I'm not the person like to like, yeah, so what's your questions? And I'm like, oh God, like, let me just tell you how my situation looks, and then you will tell me like which direction to go, etc. So yeah, but the something like the perfect timing, both, and doesn't exist in terms of like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for the perfect timing, but also in not pushing ourselves like, oh, now is the perfect time, like I have to act now, etc. So
Right.
the duality of the time
Yes.
we see,
Yes.
because today, especially with the time, and I'm like, yeah, so I am in business, in like providing for myself, for the family, etc., for like several years now, and it is up and down, up and down. So, and there's a lot of background work, so I work on the traumas, etc., like many different things, and doing the HD for like, it will be my 4th year is has started. So yeah, so 4 years
amazing.
on the
Yeah.
journey. So I know I need to trust, and I know that like we all are looking for that quantum jump, like, okay, like where is gonna like go, and the fireworks, etc., like, and earns those millions, etc. But like we have no idea, we cannot push it, and like we really need to trust, because usually because I've been studying few people on the internet and their journey, and usually it was like there was not expecting that, so because they were like preparing themselves. So I think like most of us are in the state of preparing for like whenever it comes, like if I don't know if in United States they also tend to say, girls, like, you always need to look good just in case your true love pops out.
Oh
And
yeah.
you need
Oh
to
yeah.
look good.
That's a thing.
So I think it's exactly that in business. Like you just need to be prepared in case like somebody stops you and you like appear on the TV or like etc. So the big question I think is to ask ourselves like, are we prepared? Like if tomorrow I will link up to 100 clients, if I will have the ability
Yes.
to like handle them.
Exactly.
And with the 100 clients, then could be, I don't know, like 15 complaints, for example, because the long time of waiting, because my email didn't come through, etc., etc. Like, are you prepared? So like what we are doing here in business, I think we are in big preparation for that quantum jump and a big trust. Like literally my trust is up to the roof because like today I made 2 investments for which I do not have the money for.
Wow, that's
But
major faith.
yes, and I need to have the
Yes.
money like until the end of next week. So I know I need to hurry. So there is stress, etc. But like, okay, remember, there's trust. Like, so it will come. You don't know how, you don't know when, etc. And
Yes.
yeah, who knows? Who knows? Maybe tomorrow I will wake up and there will be 2 clients. Maybe I did get a call after that trust. I did get a call from a friend that he's coming from Warsaw and he invited me to lunch and he was interested in HD. So you never know. You never know the opportunities, etc. So
Mhm.
like, yeah, always be prepared, even if it will be in a year, a 2 or 2, etc. Like always be prepared, but at the same time, trust that it will eventually happen. We just don't know when.
Mhm.
I love that. That is so, yeah, you're so on point. Um,
My pep talk.
no, I love that. You're so on point. There's a couple things. So one thing that really came up for me too when you were talking about that is, yes, if you woke up tomorrow and you had 100 new clients banging down your door, could you really support them? Like we think we want this big business or our business to look a certain way, but we don't really acknowledge, okay, where am I right now? How much can I handle, right? Are my systems in place? Do I have all the tools to support them? Am I really ready? Like push come to shove, maybe you'll figure it out, but then you might have a lot of unhappy people in the process and a whole other set of situations, issues to deal with. And it's the same thing with money, right? It's like we pray, oh my gosh, I want a 10K month, I want a 50K month, I want a 100K month or whatever. But are you really set up to receive that and to hold it, right? Do you already have a place for that money to go, right? And when you get into like money mentality, money logic, just thinking about your relationship to money, are you really welcoming it in or are you like stressed and like it's gonna happen? It's like dating. He's gonna come. My soulmate is gonna come, right? I'm ready right now. They're not coming. Money's not coming. It's scared of you. You're scaring it off. But like, are you putting yourself in a position where you're ready to receive it when it shows up, which you have no control over? All you can do is get ready, be
Yeah,
ready, make the space, do all the things that you need to in the meantime, right? That prep work for it to show up,
yeah.
whether that's clients, contracts, money, opportunities. I love that. Thank you.
Thank
That was a
you.
really good reminder. Yeah.
Yeah, something
Oh,
that came up today. So yes, I think maybe that's why I'm on the call today.
oh, yeah. That was a good reminder for me too. I mean, I heard something very similar to earlier today where it was like, I got into my car and like this religious church was actually on the radio. I don't know how that happened, but apparently it was meant to be. I was meant to hear it. And the pastor is very progressive. And so I literally got in the car, turned my car on when he was saying, whatever you're praying for, you don't keep praying for it. You pray for it, you ask for it once, and you have faith
Yeah.
that your prayer was heard, right? You
Mhm.
don't sit there and you keep looking for it, praying for it, asking for it, because you're not receiving. You're
Mm-hmm.
not really believing that it's on its way. And that's the same thing, You're doing the
Exactly.
prep work and you trust it's gonna work out. It's coming your way.
Exactly. Yeah. And thank you also for the beautiful. I do have my notes and yeah, like putting, and also habits was also something that I was thinking about today. Like what my next habits to success should be.
I think
Literally,
we all have
literally.
room. We all have room for work in that area. That's for sure.
Exactly. So yeah, so thank you for that reminder.
You are so welcome, my dear. And here we are at the 1 o'clock hour or the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being on here live with me. And if you're watching the replay again, feel free to put your questions, your comments in Telegram or message me directly. And I can't wait to see you guys next month. If you have ideas for new topics coming up, let me know as well. I am an open book. All right. Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.